This show is brought to you by iRacing.com, where you can get 2 free months with the purchase of 1 for only $12 by going to iRacing.com/membership. Welcome to Inside Sim Racing and our weekly test drive. I'm Darren Ganji, and today I'm taking out the McLaren P1 in Forza Motorsport 5 at Nordschleife. And we've had some requests for that since it came out. And so you guys can see how it compares to the Assetto Corsa mod that Jason ran last week and the Project Cars version that we ran a few weeks back. So this is like the green hell month. And just some quick stuff. First of all, some of my settings really quick. 360 degrees of rotation, no dead zones, running about 70% vibration, 100% force feedback. Also running no assists, as you can see here as well. I ran it in this race room seat, pushed up next to the next level racing wheel stand, running with the TX Thrustmaster base, with the 458 GTE Italia racing rim, T3 PA pedals, and I don't know if you want to know about my monitor, it's just a 42-inch Vizio, 1080p, and actually going to show you my lap in picture-in-picture, so with 3 views, one over my shoulder looking at the wheel, one of the replay, and then one of the in-car. Actually, I'm not running in the cockpit, I'm running right at the base of the, or at the top of the hood, because honestly, as I've mentioned before, I'm not really fond of the Forza cockpit views because you can't adjust it. If I could move it forward, I would definitely sit in the cockpit, but I don't like half the screen with a wheel in my face, so it does me no good. So after I do the picture-in-picture, I'm gonna run the lap full screen, 1080p capture from the replay cam, because honestly, it looks bitchin'. It looks and sounds really cool, so if you don't want to watch that, you don't have to, but after my lap, or actually you don't want to watch this, you don't have to at all, but I'd appreciate it if you did. But anyway, you'll get a chance to see that from the external replay cam, hear what the car sounds like. You can see it catching air in a couple spots. Oh, and I'm also going to do some commentary of my lap while you're watching it, the original lap. The replay lap, I'm just going to go let it run so you can hear it and see everything about it. So I'm doing this in Rivals mode, and the challenge is to break 7 minutes in the P1. And honestly, with the base setup in the McLaren P1, I don't think I could have done it. I tried, and that car really likes to just dance all over the place under braking, especially if you're trying to trail brake into corners. So I went and found a setup that was just tuned recently by a guy named Guadalupe, and I'd like to thank him for posting his setup. I have no idea what he did to it, except I think I can tell that there's slick tires on it. Actually, you can see the car, I got it in the paint shop right here, and it looks like it's got like the semi-slick race tires on it. I know he dropped some weight on it, but his setup's locked, so I can't go in and tune it anymore. The only thing I think I would have changed is the gearing is a little tall in 7th gear, and when it goes from 6th to 7th, I wouldn't say it bogs, because if you watch the speedometer, my miles per hour are still climbing, but I would have tightened it up a little bit so 7th was almost tapping out at the end of that straight. It might have got me, I think it might have got me a little quicker time. So my goals were to A, beat that challenge in Rivals mode, B, see if I can beat it with a clean lap, because that is not an easy task, and C, beat Jason's 6:59 and change that he ran in the Zonda in Assetto Corsa at the Green Hell last week. So he kind of laid down the gauntlet and challenged me, and I thought I'd mix it up it's not a direct, obviously a direct head-to-head challenge, because I'm not running a Zonda and I'm not running the Assetto Corsa version. I'm running Forza 5's version that just came out, I don't know, about 3 weeks ago, laser scanned, and I have to say, one of the, if not the best version of Nordschleife, and not that I've ever been on that track, because man, I sure would love to, but It is the prettiest, most intense version I've ever tried. It honestly seems a little more challenging than what I did in Project Cars a few weeks back in the back mono. But anyway, so here's my lap. Again, I'm going to do some commentary through the lap, talk about some sections as I go through it, and then wrap things up at the end, and then run my lap on its own, full 1080p, full screen, so you can hear and sound what it's all about. Here it is. Okay, so as you can see, my previous lap is going to be a 6:58, but dirty. Now, I got to say, turn 1 here is tough. It's a blind corner down into second gear, through this section, back down into fourth here. Wide open through here, hard on the brakes coming into this section, down into third. Flat out for just a second. Try to clip the apex there, down into third. Almost lost it there. This section almost always bites me, so I want to get going as fast as I can coming up through here. Catch a little, no, not catch air. Catch it air coming here. Right there. Down into fifth. Back on the throttle hard. This is a flat out section. I love this section right here. Up into sixth gear. This is my third lap. Down into sixth. Gonna let off. Slid a little bit down. Hard on the brakes down into third gear. Slid a little wide, but that's okay because I can lay apex there. Flat out through here again. Up through the gears. As you can see, I went through a little bit of fuel, so the car's definitely a little bit lighter. Hard on the brakes down into fourth here. This is one of the slower sections right here, kind of creeps up on you. You just got to tiptoe second gear. Back on the throttle hard. Flat out through here. First left-hander, then you got to slow. Probably could have taken this a little bit faster. Back down into third. I don't know the names of the sections either, by the way, so I'm just going to kind of tell you what's going on as I go. Down into third here. Got to kind of tiptoe through here. Tires breaking loose. I definitely choked that section. I could have gone faster through here. This section always creeps up on me though. Hard on the brakes here, down into third. Thanks to that Guadalupe setup, I'm able to trail brake and wide open through here, down through this little valley, down into third. I like this section. It goes uphill. This is always one of my favorite sections right here. Up this hill. And now here's where it gets fast. This first left-hander, right after it gets into the shade, flat out, and then hard on the brakes down into fourth gear. Has a long corner, late apex there, down into third briefly. Now this is a flat-out section, and you really have to hit your apexes here, or you can just end up on the side of the track. Flat out through this right-hander, one more right-hander, a left-hander, and then on the brakes down into fourth. And then right back on the throttle. And then this right-hander always is blind, and it probably could have taken it a little bit faster, but 125 is pretty good. And then on the brakes here, down into fourth, third. Went a little wide. Probably lost a second or two there. Here's the first bank corner. And I lose it here. Watch when I exit. That was worth a couple seconds easy right there. Should have been smoother on exit, but that's probably flat out there. I got off the throttle. I probably lost a second there. to take it easy through this section. Lots of blind corners. Got to take your time and be patient when going through here. Down to the third for this right-hander. Car gets light right there, as you can hear it. You're always tempted to go faster through that section, and it can bite you. A little power oversteer in third. Trying to make all my apexes use as much track as I can. Flat out through here. Could have gone faster through that section. This is flat out through here. This is a pretty fast right-hander. Flat out through this section. And this is a tough right-hander. I always go brake too early. Yeah, I brake too early there for sure. You're just going so fast, you don't want to blow it, especially getting this late in the lap. Here comes the last bank corner. Probably could have taken that a little faster. And this first corner, as you come to the long straight, down into fourth, let it ride out a little bit, and then as soon as I see the rumple strips on the right here, I'm flat out. Now you're going to hear seventh gear, it's just a little too tall. Into the seventh at 190. Here it's kind of bogging a little bit. Still really fast though. Approaching 210 as I hit this left-hander at the bridge. See what I can get up to. 212, 13, 14, 15. 215 before I get off the gas. This is a pretty fast section right through here, and then down into third for this right-hander. Just keep it in third until the last corner, then I drop it into second. Try to flip that apex. And there you have it. 6:54.045. And definitely my best lap at Nordschleife. Okay, so there it was, 6:54 and change. And I definitely, as I was talking about during the lap, and there was a couple sections where I almost lost it. And trust me, that was not my first try. Actually, as you can see, during that run, that was my third lap in that session. Probably about my 15th try today. I broke 7 minutes a bunch of times, but not all of my laps were clean. I admit I did use the replay feature a couple times, or the rewind feature a couple times, just because, and I may have even during that session, to be honest, on lap 1 or 2, just because the lap is so long, you know, starting another lap takes 7 minutes. So it was easier for me to just rewind, make sure the car was still in good shape, and then continue on and start a fresh lap. The lap I just ran, a 6:54, I ran it clean. I did make some mistakes. I left probably about 3 minutes, man, I wish, 3 seconds or so on the table. And I'm saying that because my rival he ran a 6:51, and I think I could have beat that 6:51 had I not made the mistakes that I made. Because there was one time where you saw where I lost it, or almost lost it, really had to wrangle that thing back in. And I gotta say, that car, and I love using the word beast, that car is a beast. Third, fourth gear sometimes coming out of corners, and I'm getting power oversteer with it. It is just a handful. And I'd like to thank Guadalupe for his setup that he had posted, because honestly, I don't think I could have broke 7 minutes without it. His setup really stabilized the car under braking, allowed me to trail brake into a lot of the corners, felt really good in the really high-speed sections. So without that setup, and there was a handful of other setups. That happened to be the first one that I picked that was recent. I mean, he had just tuned it and posted it on the 25th of this month. So that's a very recent tune. And again, I would have made some adjustments to 7th gear. But I beat you, Jason. I beat you by 5 seconds. I know it's a different car, different version of the ring, Nordschleife, Green Hell, whatever you want to call it, but I made it into the 6-minute club. That was one of my other goals. I don't think I've ever gotten under 7 minutes at Nordschleife. I don't think I've ever really run a car that could do it or focused on doing it, but I can now say that I've done it, 6:54. So that's going to wrap things up. Check out our website, isrtv.com. Got a link right here that you can click on if you're on your PC, if you're on your tablet or mobile phone. Just come and visit us. We'd love you to be there. We'd love you to check it out. Come join us in our forums if you're new to sim racing or you want to transition into PC sim racing. We got a section on our forums for that. Also, join in on the conversation on Facebook and Twitter. I got our websites right there, or our social media URLs right there. So here's my full lap, full screen, running that 654 1080p. Hope you enjoy it. I'll see you guys next time.